Soldier Field opened back in 1924 with the Bears becoming tenants in 71, and what a home field advantage it has become here in Chicago. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerge from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we as the Bears get set to match up with the Cincinnati Bengals. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And CD, you look at the Bengals in this matchup, they've got to be thinking, hey, we've got a good chance to be successful here running the football.
No doubt about that, because that has to be their mindset. It should be their mindset. This is one of the better rushing offenses in the league, and they're squaring off against a team that's not at all strong on the other side of the ball. So this could be one where we see this offense try to impose their will through the trenches, and in fact, they should.
Summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. Time to see this Bengals offense here as they get set for their first drive. And under center, of course, is the #1 pick in the 2020 draft, now in year number 2, Joe Burrow.
And what a rookie season he had indeed. A knee injury knocked him out in Week 11 at Washington. And while the Bengals only won 2 of his 10 starts, I think everyone around the league and anyone who watched the NFL came away impressed. 13 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions.
This is intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. The Bears offense ready to go to work here for the first time, leading them out the 11th overall pick of the 2021 draft, Justin Fields out of Ohio State.
And what he's thinking about right now is first down, let's find a way to make a big play. Because when you get a sudden change situation, and that defense has to rush onto the field unexpectedly, you might catch them having a defensive breakdown or not quite prepared.
It was nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. There's Sam Hubbard that time in there to bring him to the ground. And they get to him right out of the gate. And this defense hoping that that's a harbinger of things to come.
Yeah, when you give up a first-play sack, makes your quarterback wonder if he's going to go to the sidelines and talk with his offense coordinator and head coach and say, hey, you know that game plan we put together? We might need to change it right now.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Another try after the first down sack. Fields caught by Montgomery. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll find Chase on the right side complete. And he'll go out of bounds after getting this across the 15. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone. Meanwhile, Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
I haven't been a defense coordinator yet. The big 2nd and 2 is a fun situation to try and defend. Playbook is wide open for an offense, partner.
Nice job holding to 1 after that 8-yard pickup on first down. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. And that will be incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Bears take over. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And the first drive, 3 and out. 2nd possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Here's Fields. This one swung out to Montgomery. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Well, this defense for the Bengals, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Yes, it's the first half, but we'll see if that stuff there on 3rd and 1 comes back to haunt him.
I hope you don't mind, but it's not going to stop me from putting a check mark next to this play. Let's look back as this game progresses and see if this is one of the key plays in the game, even though it occurred early.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Tackle made by Delano Hill. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. He can't get him down. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Now Burrow on first down. Out to the left. He's got Sample there. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Now it's Burrow. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They get there.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time,
big loss. So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Now it's Fields. And this is incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down. Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Fields on target to Mooney. 1st down, Chicago. 1st down, here's the run with Montgomery. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
2nd and 11. To throw is Fields. And that'll be incomplete. Trying to get it to Tariq Cohen out of the backfield. And it's 3rd down. Now Fields. Steps away to his left. And he will slide down, but a penalty marker down. And this may be all for naught. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. That also a career-long kick for the veteran, Charles.
Yeah, how about what he just got done there? We always knew he had a big leg, but how about everything coming together perfectly on that one? Great leg swing, and bang that one through.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work. Last week, what a game. He was knocking on the door for 200.
And one of the things I saw come out of last week's game in his post-game press conference, he gave a lot of credit to the offensive line, as you might expect. He also talked about the wide receivers blocking on the perimeter because no big game happens unless wide receivers block as well.
And watching film you showed me, he also made people miss. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Fights through, and now a crease. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 46 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times. Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
Yeah, and this could be a sign of what this defense is in for, because you know all week long the coaches were preaching to the defense. You've got to be able to wrap up against a back like him, or he can make you pay. Technique, technique, technique.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Burrow looking to pass. He will find his man Chase complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. He gets this one to Boyd. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well.
And Tyler Boyd's one of those guys that seems to fly under the radar, but he finds ways to get open, and he has nice hands. He's averaged right around 80 catches a year his last 3 seasons.
They'll give it to Mixon. A good red zone run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd and goal. P-Ryan. And the avenue collapsed for him as he's going to be held up short of the goal line. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the 1. The Bengals on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. Mixon, and he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bengals have taken the lead. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Evan McPherson for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On second down, Montgomery. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down. The Bears on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a give running right is Montgomery. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Fields now to throw. Flushed out right. And Fields going to have the first down before sliding to a halt to avoid the contact. Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the first down. Now a first down throw, Fields. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 27. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, here's Fields. And he slings one that's incomplete. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Back to throw, Fields. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Santos' kick is up and through, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Jalen Johnson up to make the tackle. From the 22, Burrow. Open man is Uzama. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Now it's Burrow. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. A solid stiff arm. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain of 32 that time.
And 3rd down is very simple. Make sure you get beyond the sticks, make the catch, pick up the first down. But in this case, he turned it into bonus time and was off to the races for a monster play.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Burrow. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw. This goes out wide for Mixon. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. To throw again on 2nd down. Burrow throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. It's Khalil Mack that time, shooting in there to get him to the ground. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
McPherson's kick is good. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want a drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. So, Charles, this game number 2 in the NFL career, this rookie quarterback, his guys took the loss in the opener. And when asked after that game by reporters how he did, he was pretty curt. He said, not well. What did you see?
Well, first and foremost, I loved his answer to the media because he was being honest. And those veterans in the locker room, they're looking at him to see how he's going to handle things, and they like the fact that he's not blaming other people because I thought he struggled. The only thing that's going to help him, though, reps. No matter how many big games you played in college, how well you do in practice, the reps in the real games, that's when you begin to grow as a quarterback.
Darnell Mooney, the target there. And it's 2nd down. Here's Fields. And he fires one incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Cole Kmet, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. This taken in by Jakeem Grant. And he will have the Bears 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Back to throw again. He finds his man, complete. It's Grant. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. From the 41, Fields. Throw left side, complete. That's Cohen. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. To the air again, Fields. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. That'll bring up 4th down as his Cincy defense stands up on 3rd. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. He needed 2. He barely got back to the line of scrimmage. And the Bengals will get the football back. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
Now Burrow on 1st down. Quick slant caught by Chase. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now it's Burrow. And he'll find Chase on the right side complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy is made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Dumps it off to Mixon. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. 2nd down and 3, ball on the 7. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And that'll be caught. Touchdown Bengals. It's Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd as the first half is winding down. And the Bengals will extend their lead here just before halftime. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken at the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start with an AFC East battle down in South Florida. Buffalo at Miami. And they are just about ready to head to halftime with the Dolphins on top. Jalen Waddle, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll head up to Indy to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And you can see there, it's the visiting LA Rams who have the lead in that one. A couple of touchdowns there for Cam Akers. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie. See what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. And this one going the visitors' way as the Texans have the lead in that one. Danny Amendola, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Now time for a check of the next-gen stats in the first half for the Bengals. And they've had plenty of success throwing the football so far this afternoon, as they're on pace to throw for over 300 yards if their form holds. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they weren't quite as successful throwing the ball as their counterparts were, but they still were able to move the ball reasonably well in that first half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. The Bears offense set to go to begin the third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Now Fields. And this one's incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now it's Fields. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Can't do that.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Bengals. It's Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. If there was one knock on Joe Burrow coming out of LSU, it was arm strength, but kind of put those doubts to rest right there.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Escaping the pressure right. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. To throw is Fields. And that is incomplete. But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Bengals set to take over. They've got the lead right now in this contest, and they're coming off that victory a week ago against the Minnesota Vikings. Set to go, 1st and 10. Now Burrow. Airing one out for Boyd. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
3rd and goal, Burrow. Here's Higgins out on the right side. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. McPherson's kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
Yeah, this will be a touchback as Graham opts not to return it. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And the tackle there by Jermaine Pratt.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Fields now to throw. Flush to his right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. Fields. That's complete to Mooney. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 43. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Trey Hendrickson. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
And what a big 2020 season for the Saints for this third-round pick in 2017 out of Florida Atlantic. Now, he signed with the Bengals back in March, but for New Orleans last year, 13.5 sacks, which tied Aaron Donald for the NFC lead.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Out of the gun, running with Cohen. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. Back to throw, Fields. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Tyler Boyd and the rest of the offense heading back out. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Give him 30 yards there.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Good job.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive. And once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another 1st.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. Burrow looking to pass. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down. Burrow will throw. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Khalil Mack picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. On the delay, it's Mixon. And able to use the stiff arm to gain leverage initially, but not much room thereafter. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Chicago offense set to get started. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. Throwing again on 2nd down. Fields. And here he's got Grant. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3, this is where the ball goes anymore.
Back now at Soldier Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Meanwhile, Fields' throw there complete to Mooney. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Fields on 3rd down. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And he will have the Bears' first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Draw play. Fields gives to Montgomery. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28. 2nd down at 7. Here's Fields. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They snap it to Fields. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert, and the Bengals will get the football back. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 83 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And the final number here in terms of top speed, I mean, that almost looks like a misprint. He was just absolutely flying. Unbelievable. Back to Mixon on second down. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. From the gun, a give to Mixon. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Running left, it's Mixon. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. The offense on 3rd down tonight, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Here's Burrow. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And he is going to have the Bengals first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Here's a give to Mixon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle was made by Joel Iyiegbuniwe.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Now it's Burrow. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Boyd. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
Zach Taylor, a new breed of head coach. He's going to go for it on 4th down. They'll run with Mixon. And down he goes, but the stiff arm utilized effectively there, and it helps him move the sticks. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. This is Mixon. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And the Bengals are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Touchdown, Bengals. T. Higgins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you, no question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 28. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. Jakeem Grant now to return. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Let's go, baby.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Here's Fields. Flushed out right. And Fields going to have the first down before sliding to a halt to avoid the contact. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Looking to throw. Fields. And left side here, it's Graham. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. That catch good for only a couple. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Fields. And that is incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Fields. Buying time to his left. And a nice job there defensively to contain him and get him to the ground a few yards short of the 1st down marker. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Hey, check. 3 down.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2.
He was taken down at the 50-yard line. It's a gain of 2 yards.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And some room to work. Past the 20. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter, Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Cincinnati, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll try to